Follow-up.
You're darn right we are. You know why?
Because it's Funnels and Follow-Up Day.
And it's the Funnels and Follow-Up Show.
And it's the Funnels and Follow-Up Show.
Are you going to sing the Funnels and Follow-Up jingle?
There is no Funnels and Follow-Up jingle. Do not sing.
Okay. We have a great guest today.
We do have a great guest today. We've got Sandee Giller, and she's a relationship marketing specialist. Sandee and her husband, Scott, who we've been friends with for a number of years, moved from Boston to Phoenix 20 years ago. And she's got two grown children, so they're the hell out of the house, and 4 grandsons.
Who are the hell in the house to get watched, I'm sure. Because that's what grandparents do.
So what Sandee does is she works closely with business professionals to help them with client retention, client relations, and increasing referrals using an amazing online tool.
So shall we bring her in?
We shall bring her in. Yes.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Wow,
hi, Sandee. Welcome.
Sandee. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited.
Yay!
All right, that's our show. Good night, everyone.
So it's Funnels and Follow-Up is the show. Funnels and Follow-Up.
So what are we going to talk about today?
And Follow-Up.
As we should.
And
although this helps actually put people in your funnel as well, not just following up.
And we talk a lot about the amazingness of filling up your funnel, but we haven't spoken a whole lot on the follow-up, and we all know that the fortune is in fact in the follow-up. So Sandee is with an amazing company called Send Out Cards. We are with that same amazing company, Send Out Cards, because
if you've ever gotten a card from us or brownies, it can Send Out Cards.
That's right.
And you'd remember because they're like the most delicious brownies.
They are. They're
addictive.
Yes.
Yeah. Too much. So, but so Send Out Cards is a relationship marketing tool. It's a tool in your toolbox, and it can increase client retention. It is a great way to follow up with people. You show appreciation to clients, to referrals, to prospects. And you can do it like from your desktop, from your phone, from anywhere. It's super simple to use. So Sandee, tell us a little bit about why you got started in Send Out Cards and how it's helped you improve your business and other people's businesses.
Sure. Well, 10 years ago, my husband and I owned an automotive shop, and I needed a way to show appreciation to our clients. And I ordered a bunch of cards from Vistaprint. I had a graphic artist design our cards and all of that. Had 500 cards ordered. And I realized that I was writing out the cards. My brain was going faster than my hand, or my hand was going faster than my brain. But when I would read what I wrote, it definitely wasn't what I thought I wrote. And I also realized that I have really bad handwriting, and people probably couldn't read what I wrote anyway. I was throwing away more cards than I was actually sending. And then I also realized that no matter why I was sending the card, the front of the card always looked the same. I've always been a card sender. I had a Hallmark Gold card. But then I went to a networking group, and the person doing the presentation that day was from Send Out Cards. And I said to her, I need you, and I need you now. I love the fact that I can design it however I want. I can put their picture of whoever I'm sending the card to. I can make it so personalized. It's scary how personalized it is.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to show everyone for those of you who are listening on the podcast, you're not going to be able to see the delightfulness that is this, but someone else, another friend of ours, sent us a Send Out Cards as a thank you. And she gathered pictures from Facebook. And one of the pictures that we put on Facebook was when I was looking around at one of those makeup stores in the mall, because I was I love to walk in there. I love to walk in there and play with the makeup, and Barry does not. And there was a little television that would look at your picture, and then you can put makeup on yourself.
Virtual makeup.
Makeup.
I was bored. It was the weekend.
And is the send out card. He has
I love it.
lovely hot pink lipstick and very, very perfect eyeliner on. And this is what sits on my desk. This is the picture of my husband that I keep on my desk. That's how personal send out cards can get. Why do I want to personalize my cards? Why don't I want to send out a whole bunch of cards with my logo on it and my handwriting?
First off, you just showed the example why. You put that card in a frame and it's sitting on your desk. That's a reminder of the person that sent you the card. So when you're in business, we all want to do business with those that we know, like, and trust. But we also want to do business with those that we remember. And for a lot of people, they're not staying top of mind. And this is showing the person by, I tell businesses, the more of a Facebook stalker you are and use their pictures from their Facebook account or wherever they are on social media, the more they're going to get traction with that customer for two reasons. That customer is going to know that they're part of their life. They're paying attention to what's going on in their life, and that they're not just a dollar sign. They're not just promoting their business, their product, and all of that. They're watching for when somebody has a baby. They're watching when somebody leaves their job, when there's a death in the family, when they get a new puppy, when they do funny things like that. That's what makes send out cards different. And you can put your brand on the back of the card. So when somebody shows somebody a card, they can say to them, look who sent me. I have a realtor that uses send out cards, and he hadn't been using his system. He's not on my team, but he hadn't been using the cards. And I finally got him to send a card. And he showed me a post from the very first card. The person said, my realtor is better than yours because look what he sent me. And that's what happens, is you're going to get recognized for paying attention to people's lives and not just promoting you.
I got to tell you, you know what I got the most out of this whole conversation so far? It took you several decades to realize you have lousy handwriting. That's what I've gotten out of this.
No, my mother used to tell me that all the time.
Yeah, I should have been a doctor, but well, yeah.
I did work in an emergency room, and that is so true.
That explains it then. Okay.
So we're talking about the follow-up. We're talking about filling your funnel as well, but
Right.
you know, a little bit more specifically here, we're talking about follow-up. Is there a particular business category that following up with a card, a real live send out card that you've stalked somebody on Facebook to stick some pictures in?
Any business that wants to grow. I mean, there's not one particular business. I've heard stories from all over. One of my favorite stories is a steel, I can never remember what it's called, in Tempe. People drop off steel to get money, so that it gets refurbished. I can't remember what that's called. Anyway, sending a card. They were going out of business. They were running out of money. They sent a card to all of their customers just saying, thank you so much. Didn't put anything. And because they sent that card to all their customers, they received something like 40 referrals.
Wow.
And then that was in December. And then March of the next year, they're Irish, and they sent out St. Patrick's Day to everybody. And because they were running out of money, and they brought in $40,000 by sending out a card, because why can't I think of what it's called? When people recycling, a recycling company, who in that industry sends out cards?
Probably.
And then they work closely with AC companies because they want all the old ACs, and they had a hard time getting into some of the AC companies. They couldn't get past the gatekeeper.
Right.
And so the person that runs that recycling company now sends a card in brownie to those people to get past the gatekeeper. And now they're called the brownie people. And their business has grown exponentially, both putting in funnels and people coming back to them because of the way they're using send out cards.
And I want people to understand also, these are actual real greeting cards that you get in the mail with a real stamp on them.
Yes.
You don't get the little rubber stamp. It's a real stamp.
them.
People open these.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we're so conditioned now to have just junk mail that comes in the mailbox. You know, we go from the mailbox to the recycle can.
That's what we do.
That's pretty much it, because it's either a bill or junk. But when you get a greeting card, first you always know that it's a greeting card because it's a different shape.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what company, what brand, you know it's a card, and you're going to open it. And you look, it's got a real stamp on there, so you know it's not bulk mail.
Right.
Right.
So these get opened guaranteed every time. I don't think any of them ever get thrown out before they're open.
Like your emails.
Yeah, unlike your emails where you're lucky to get a 10% open rate.
Right.
Our tagline is appreciation you can touch, and it is a real card. So I just recently left my job, and a lot of my friends are celebrating. They took a quote I put on Facebook and put it on the front of a card, and then they wrote me a note, and on the back they put, not everybody puts their branding, but people put different things on the back. And this card is 100% about me. If you can see on my wall, I have cards that I've received. In fact, I'm going to put up 3 or 4 more of these because I have thousands of cards. I have boxes of cards, and we just are going through cleaning out our office, and I can pick up cards that I've received 5 years ago, and I can tell you exactly why I got that card, who it's from, and I still get the butterflies from opening it. So it never goes away. I've been with Send Out Cards for 9.5 years, and getting a card still isn't old. It's exciting, and I get cards every single day.
Every single day. So give us some strategies, some tips, something that our listeners can use to jump in and start appreciating and following up with their clients, with their prospects, and using Send Out Cards to do that.
Okay. We have 4 different plans. So depending on which plan, we always suggest that people send a minimum of 3 cards a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but in the beginning it may be, but as you get going, you're going to meet people during the day. You're going to want to send nice to meet you cards. You're going to have time with somebody. You're going to say, thank you for spending time with me. You're going to see somebody on Facebook that had a baby, that had a life happening, and something happened in their life that you want to celebrate them. People's birthdays. We can set up 5-touch campaigns so that when you meet somebody, they'll receive anywhere from 3 to 4 to 10 cards over the next year. You can set up campaigns that are specific for that person. I have a friend whose husband passed away, and because of that, she is with Send Out Cards. She sets up a campaign for people that have lost their spouses, and they get a card from her every month. And she designs them for that specific person, but that way she knows that that person is touched on every month for the first year. Because we all know when somebody loses a loved one, they get all kinds of gooey ooey for the first couple of weeks, but then everybody goes back to life and they forget that that person is still grieving. And think about it, if you're in business and you're touching on that person, letting them know that you're thinking of them, not just as their customer, but as a person, as a human being.
I was going to say, I like that you use the word campaign, because for a lot of us that do digital marketing, online marketing, when we think campaigns, we're thinking emails going out.
Correct.
And having a tactile campaign, something that people can feel in their hands, it is, I don't know the numbers, and you probably do, but the conversion rate on something like that must be incredibly high.
Yes. I'm not a numbers person, so I don't know the numbers either. However, I do know of quite a few people that are business owners that use Send Out Cards. It's the only marketing they do. And I know of a number of realtors specifically that it's the only marketing, and they are 100% referral rate. They no longer have to ask for business. They no longer have to go and look for business. And one of my friends out of Michigan, she sells 50 homes a year. And the only marketing she uses is Send Out Cards. Now, I will tell you, she lives, breathes, and eats Send Out Cards. I mean, she takes an Uber, and that Uber driver gets a card from her. She sends cards to everybody that comes in contact with her. But she talks about she may spend $2,500 a year on Send Out Cards, but selling 50 homes, what do you think her commission is?
Oh yeah. I mean, even if you only made $2,000 a home, that's $100,000.
Right.
You know,
So, and
so
that's the only marketing she does.
2.5% of your gross income in a marketing campaign. Yeah.
And let's not forget how actually affordable these cards are. They're less expensive than going to Walgreens or CVS or the supermarket and grabbing a card there than having to stuff mail and stamp it.
Right.
You know, you're talking, I mean, I think the last card I picked up in the store was probably $6.
Yeah, $5-6 easy.
Our most expensive card, if you're on our basic plan and you put a picture in your card, the most expensive card is $375 plus postage.
Yeah.
And that's with as many pictures as you want in it.
Yeah, it's incredible. You're getting a personalized card at a lower price than a generic card.
Right. And you can do it in your PJs.
You could do it in your PJs, and people can read your handwriting because you're typing. Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, you can also upload a sample of your handwriting.
Yes, you can. That. We have a form. There's a fee, a one-time fee. You fill out a form, which I did, but I still don't use it because it didn't come out good. Yeah. But my signatures, I do have, my signature is my signature on the card. You're up to 4 signatures. You can actually get more at $5 a piece. But I have my signature, Scott's signature.
Oh, we just lost your audio.
Somehow we lost Sandee Giller's audio.
Let's see. She just got muted. Let's unmute.
Let's unmute her.
Oh, your mic isn't connected, Sandee. It fell out somewhere. I don't know what it is. So Catherine and I will just talk about you till you get that mic working.
All right. So as Sandee figures out what's going on with her mic, yay, modern technology. I have to say, Send Out Cards is modern technology that doesn't quite screw up the same way as this. Here's my take on it. You meet somebody, you want to connect with them, you might send them a quick email. Hey, thank you for connecting with me. I know a lot of times when we go ahead and do an event and we gather up cards for people who want us to contact them, again, I'll immediately send a quick email so that they know that I've already, that yes, I'm on top of it, because a card does take a couple of days to get there.
Sandee's back. Look at that.
Sandee's back. But Sandee, this is what I wanted to ask you. And thank you for bringing up that friend of yours who sends cards to Uber drivers. How do I get the address of someone? Because very few addresses are on business cards.
It's really hard. You ask.
Wait. What?
Well, if you're sending a card to the Uber driver, typically what my friend is doing is she's showing them that she's sending a card. And so she'll ask right then and there, may I please have your address so I can send you something? Because we have brownies, a lot of times we'll say, hey, do you like brownies? Can I send you some? And you know what? Nobody's ever said, nope, I don't want any brownies.
This would have been a damn good Uber ride.
But I mean, I send cards. I've met people out and about. I have sent cards to, a few years ago, there was a TV show called the Best American Bake Off or something like that. I sent a card to the winner and we became really good friends. He reached out to me immediately. He came out to visit Scottsdale for his birthday. We all got together with his family. I mean, the options are limitless. I mean, there are no different things the stories that we've heard. A friend of mine lives in Australia. Her and her husband own employment placement company for IT specialists. He had been trying to get into this one company for over a year and couldn't get past the gatekeeper. Again, it's the gatekeeper. And he heard that the person that he needed to talk with, her mother passed away. He sent her a sympathy card. She called him a couple weeks later and said, wow, thanks for the sympathy card. It's the only one I've received. By the way, who are you? And he laughed and he said, I'm somebody that's been trying to connect with you for over a year. And they met, and their first business transaction was $150,000. And she is now his biggest client.
Wow.
Wow.
All because he thought of a sympathy card.
Yeah.
So it pays then to hang out on Facebook, figure out what everybody's doing, and get with them.
And stalk the hell out of them.
Yes.
And
In one of my networking groups, I'm called Sandee the card lady, the card stalker lady.
Catherine, remind me to unfriend Sandee.
right?
Block her. Unless she's sending brownies, then it's okay.
And then and we've gotten those brownies, and man, are they good.
Yes, they are. We have 100 different, we have hundreds of other gifts too, not just brownies.
They have simple things like small keys that, that say hope or courage, or some
one of the gifts.
That's a gift. Yeah.
What?
That's one of the gifts. As I said, something as small as a key with a word of encouragement on it.
Yep.
Can be a great thing. What Sandee showed for those who are listening on our podcast was a coffee cup
that says grateful.
That says grateful on it. So there are so many ways that you can express gratitude, that you can stay in touch with somebody. Sandee, tell us about how would you use a follow-up campaign? Met a bunch of people at a networking event. You want to follow up with them. You want to stay in touch with them. Give us some ideas for a follow-up campaign.
Okay. First off, I always make the first card a personalized card. It's either I do selfies and send out cards. We actually had a young person come to convention and teach us how to do appropriate selfies. And because
as opposed to inappropriate selfies.
Yes, inappropriate selfies. Yeah.
Okay, appropriate probably wasn't the best word. Anyway, taking selfies with people, putting them on the front of the card. Thanks for meeting with me. It was so great to meet you. Then after that, you set up campaigns to go out on funny holidays or their birthday. I don't do Christmas that much because politically, there are people that celebrate, people that don't. I recommend people
like many of the people on this show are Jewish.
Yes, and I'm married to my husband's Jewish.
Right,
so,
and so is mine. So you got that.
Right. So I tell people to send Thanksgiving card to be either the first card out there or to send Happy New Year's card and put a real positive quote in there for the new year, new beginning, and all of that. So when I meet with somebody, I set up 5 cards to go out or 4 cards to go out, and it's going to touch them over the year. You can, I met them depending on what business you're in. If you're a realtor, send out a card 3 months later. How are you doing? Are all of your boxes unpacked? Send us 4th of July card. I love sending 4th of July cards. And if you are there's a calendar out there that shows something every day that's going on. This week is National Puzzle Day. And I sent out a bunch of cards with puzzle pieces on it with a quote on it. So you just have fun. And as long as they're getting touched a card by you, you're in their face. Again, people do business with those that they like, know, and trust, but they need to remember you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're real big on that too. That's the whole purpose of follow. You have to stay in the forefront of their mind.
Right.
Otherwise, when something comes up, when they need whatever it is that you have, they're not going to think of you. They're going to either go on to Facebook and say, hey, friends, who do you know that can help me with this? Or they're going to do a quick Google search, and whoever comes up first, they're going to call. But if they know, like Catherine has that picture of me there, it may be a picture of me, but she's, like you said, she's always going to remember who sent it. So
Yep.
Should we need to have that person's services top of mind always?
Right.
So absolutely, yes, you got to stay, and you're not annoying people.
No, you're not. You're celebrating them. I have a friend who's a commercial realtor here in Phoenix, and he set up a campaign. He actually figured out how to set up a campaign the last 3 years. That I haven't done yet, but he's going to show me.
Wow.
He realized that some of his clients fell off the campaign because he forgot about them. And he went and he did a mass mailing. And because of the cards that we returned to him, he went on the MLS and realized how much he lost in commission because they didn't receive cards from him. And these are people he knew, people that he's been friends with, he's dealt with their families. It's not like it was a one-time thing. He missed out over on $150,000 to $200,000 in commissions because they probably thought that he went out of business. They didn't hear from him. And it showed him how important it is to stay in front. Again, you need to be remembered. And if you're not remembered, and he said people probably thought I retired because he hadn't sent a card to them. He hadn't reached out to them, and they went to somebody else. And he said the number's growing. This just happened last year. And he said the more he looks, the more the number's growing. So it's important to stay in touch.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Now, you've been using the example of realtors a lot. What are some other like really good industries? I mean, I know almost everybody needs to follow up, but if you have to give an example other than realtors, what are the good industries?
Insurance agents, dental offices, chiropractic, any medical office. I know there's the whole HIPAA thing, but our stuff is not sent. We also have something that you can actually put send out cards into it's called Sendogo. It's another part of send out cards. You can actually put a button in your CRM where you can send cards from there. So your information you're not uploading your information into our system. Honestly, automotive sales, anybody that's in sales that needs to have a follow-up funnel. I have friends that are sales car salesmen. They take a picture of the person with their car, and before they're even off the lot, that card is sent with brownies to congratulate them. And I have friends that are in sales for cars, and they've had whole families come to them because they sent that card.
Because they're buying the car just to get the brownie.
To get the brownie.
Just to get the brownie.
Do not eat your brownie in my new car.
Exactly.
But eat the brownie. Eat
the brownie. But there isn't really an industry, like I said, that steel recycling company. Who would have thought that they would have gotten any benefit from sending a card?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us some of the other gifts. So this goes beyond a card. These are gifts. These make your life a little bit easier. You know, we're in the click and buy Amazon age. I don't think a day goes by that the Amazon delivery person is not at my front door.
I'm the same way.
So tell us some of the additional gifts you can listen. If you just send a card, here is my card that I can't even remember when. It's Jackie Ulmer.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
I was with her yesterday.
Okay. Yesterday. So this is a Jackie Ulmer original. And
yeah, that's Jackie.
There's Jackie. There is Jackie. And so this has been sitting on my desk for quite some time, quite some time now. And just that, is good. I don't want to say good enough. Just that is friggin' amazing. That's better than what you're doing right now.
Right.
I
can go. We eat out a lot, and we send a lot of cards to the wait staff. If they're really good, I'll send the card. Sometimes I send it to the restaurant. Sometimes I get their address and send it to home. Okay. I have sent a card to a Dunkin' Donuts, don't call him barista, but the person in the window giving me my coffee. She would write notes on me every day. Yes, I'm from Boston, so Dunkin' Donuts is my place. She would write notes on my cup every day, and I sent her a card thanking her for making my mornings amazing. I went through after she received it, and she had tears in her eyes. Yes, I sent her brownies. And I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "I just moved here. I don't have any family here, and you made me feel like I meant something." And because of that, I went through a couple months later, and she was crying again. They put her in the International Dunkin' Donuts newsletter that went to every Dunkin' Donuts in the world because of her customer service. They did a whole article on her because of it.
Wow.
Okay, so back to the gifts. We have anything like you said, and I'm trying to find, because I have hundreds of those little keys, and now, of course, I can't find one. We have little tokens that say in memory of. We have little cards that have quotes on them that come with you're special. We have nuts, we have gummy bears, and there's new gifts for every season. So right now, all the Valentine's gifts are out. We have stuffed animals for babies. We have things for the house. We have magnets that say family means everything. I mean, there's all kinds, and they're always bringing in new ones. And we have all kinds of different mugs. Like this one says grateful. We just came out with little bowls. A friend of mine, her daughter got baptized, and I sent her, on the bottom it says, it's a little bowl with Oreo cookies in it, and on the bottom it says faith, and they have hope and happiness. It's all about being positive and uplifting. And we have all kinds of cookies and nuts and caramels, and you name it. There's over, close to 1,000 different gifts you can choose from.
Yeah, and
Barry sent me a message. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, well, was the answer yes to that question?
The answer is yes.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of the gifts are personalized also. The same person that sent us that card sent us coasters with pictures that she got off of Facebook with us on stage. So, it's like, and they're out there. They look great. They're beautiful pictures. And yeah, I mean, these are the things that you can do with send out cards.
Cool.
So, why would you suggest to someone, you've told us some good stories, but, bottom line, why would you suggest to somebody, hey, if you're out there, you're marketing, you're networking, you're in sales, really add this to your tool bag, add this to part of your marketing and sales efforts. Why, Sandee? Why would I do that?
First off, for marketing, I know people spend thousands and thousands of dollars in marketing. And I've told a lot of stories of people that have reached high numbers in their sales from sending one card. Now, it doesn't always happen from one card, but like I said, even if my friend spends $2,500 a year between the cards and the gifts, what's your return on that? It depends on what business you're in. It's inexpensive. It's personalized. It's not about promoting yourself. Yes, you can send a card that promotes your business. We talk the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, the card should be about whoever you're sending it to. 20% if you want to promote yourself, that's fine. But a lot of people choose to promote themselves just on the back of the card, and that's their 80-20. So even though people are hanging their cards, they can say, oh, who sent you the card? Look, my automotive shop sent me this card. I mean, I send out thank you cards from Scott. My husband owns he just started his own mobile mechanic shop business. And so I send it out with his logo on the back. Thank you for choosing us. If they want to be remembered and liked, it's a way to do it, and it's not expensive.
And, we have a course that we do for follow-up, Ultimate Follow-Up Blueprint. And in one of our modules of that course, we recommend strongly, should I say, that the people taking the course get a send out cards account, because it is one of the easiest ways to keep in touch and keep it personal, as opposed to just dropping them into an email campaign, because they're impersonal. The greeting card is so personal and makes you remembered.
Yes. And also, we get a lot of pushback when we're coaching our clients. We get a lot of pushback on picking up the phone and calling. Pick up the phone and call. Pick up the phone. I don't want to call. I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to be annoying. Then send a card. Then send, very simply send a card. Even if the card is saying the same thing, as your phone call was going to say, saying, hey, when are we going to get started? When are we going to pull the trigger? When are we going to launch this puppy?
Right. Another thing I didn't even talk about is if you're on social media yourself, not all the time, but a lot of times people will post a card that I sent them and they'll tag me in it. Now, you're in business and they tag you. Look, like I said, my friend, that's the realtor, and I finally got him to send a card. The person posted on Facebook, I've got the best realtor. My realtor is better than yours, and tagged him. How does that help promote your business?
Oh, 100%. It's great.
Absolutely.
And the same with me. I mean, send out cards is my business. So when people tag me, it's to promote send out cards. But when we owned the automotive shop, or now with Scott, he's just starting up, so I'm just starting to send them out. Scott worked on an antique car, a classic car, and he took a picture of it. I sent it to them, and the person says, "Oh my gosh, I could use this in my business." And I didn't know this is what you could do. I have another friend that's a mortgage rep, and I've been trying to talk with her about send out cards, and she didn't get it. I sent her a card. She was, her and her husband won a barbecue contest. I sent the pictures from that. She goes, "I get it now." And sometimes that's what it takes, is to actually receive the card, and that's how you understand how it works.
Wow. So it's as simple as going online, picking out a card, picking out if you'd like a gift, filling out the card, and hitting go.
Or do it from your phone.
Or you can do it from your phone. That's
for those young people with good eyes.
Right.
Yes.
Or when
because you can talk and text the text into the card, which some people do. Young people wouldn't do that, but us, the older ones, that's what we do. Yeah.
With their thumbs in their mouths.
Yeah.
It's, as I said, we've been using it. We're using it more and more and more all the time. And we see some great reaction to it. We absolutely see people who go, "Okay, I'll talk to you. I'll call you back. Right. I want to move forward with you."
Right.
Because
it's also about timing, because like with your business and even in send out cards, people aren't ready to start right away.
Right.
And so you're sending cards and you're not promoting yourself. You're just kind of, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving, happy, 4th of July, Valentine's Day is coming up. would love to have you as a customer." I mean, have fun with the whole Valentine's thing. And, Mother's Day is huge. Father's Day is huge. A lot of mothers don't ever receive a card. It doesn't have to be your mother. Just celebrate somebody for being a mom. They're going to remember you. And when they're ready to start with whatever product you have, they'll reach out to you. But if you're not in front of them, they may go and do it with somebody else.
Yeah. And that, too often that happens. We were talking to someone yesterday, he doesn't understand why he's not getting repeat business. And as we were talking with him to, hopefully start working with us, do you have the names and numbers of the people that you have worked with? Some. Do you have addresses? A few. Do you ever call them up or follow up? No, when they need me, they'll call me.
No,
they won't.
Real World 101. You got to stay in their face.
That's right.
You do.
And send out cards is such a great way to do it.
It is a combination of cards, and I have a newsletter that goes out every week. So it is a combination. There's so many, then texting or picking up the phone. You need to be using multiple types of media to stay in touch with people.
Absolutely. And what I want to do is let people know, since we've been talking about it, how to actually get with send out cards to be able to send them out. And we made it pretty easy. cohencoaching.com/SOC. That's send out cards. cohencoaching.com/SOC for those listening on the podcast without video. Now you have it. If you're driving, please don't write it down. Listen to the replay of the show because we don't have an insurance agent coming on soon to be able to help you.
Right.
For those watching, obviously we have it right there at the bottom of the screen. I'm also going to put it in the comments for you. So Catherine, you talk, I'm going to type.
Okay. So Sandee, to kind of wrap this all up, I want to get started. I haven't done this. I have, cards on my desk, names, addresses, people I've been in touch with. Walk us through. I'm setting up my account, cohencoaching.com/SOC. Now what? Now what should I do? What's your advice?
Okay. If you have a CRM or you have everything already put in an Excel spreadsheet, you can just upload your contacts into your account. You don't have to sit there and put them in individually.
Okay.
Within send out cards, and you can either reach out to Barry and Kat, or you can or they can forward you to me, so I can help you. I can help you set up your CRM so you're all ready to go. You want to make sure you have people's birthdays. You want to make sure to get their spouse's name, and that will get you using cards. And then you have to pick out which plan you want to go with, depending on how many cards you want to set. If you're going to send out campaigns, there's a plan for that. If you're going to send out, what I didn't tell you is you can schedule out birthday cards for a month ahead of time. And so when you go in and you have people whose birthdays are in February, you can design one card that goes out to everybody if you want to, and click send, and those are going to get scheduled throughout the month of February. And you can do that each month. You can do it a year and ahead. I have teachers that send out cards because they set up their Christmas cards or their holiday cards in the summer so that they can set them up to go out on a different date, and they don't have to deal with them while you're dealing with school.
Wow.
So the best thing is to sign up with an account. There's tutorials in there. Reach out to Barry, Kat, or myself, and I'd be happy to help you get started. Just get in there and start using it. There's tutorials in there. It's pretty easy system to use.
Yeah, and that's the key that you said. Just get in there and start using it.
Yep.
You know somebody whose birthday is coming up. The
That's
best
right.
way to learn how to use this product is to send a birthday card.
Right.
Or
You met
somebody
some-
that's struggling. There's somebody that's celebrating something. It doesn't have to be a birthday,
Right.
but somebody that could use a cheering up, just thinking of you card.
Yeah. You went to a networking event last night. You met 4 or 5 people. You got their information because you want to stay in touch with them. Send them a card.
McCard.
Right.
Just get in there and start using it. Again, this is not an expensive product to use. It's cheaper than going to the store and buying a card.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to worry about if you have a stamp or not. You don't have to worry about if the card says exactly what you said. I was one that had a box full of cards, and Scott would say to me, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I got to go buy a birthday card." "Well, what about all those cards there?" "Well, they don't really fit the person I'm sending it to." "So what'd you buy them for?" "Because I liked them."
Because
So now you can write exactly what you want in the card and not have to try to figure out what it says.
Right.
not spend the time
In your pajamas.
in
Or
your-
otherwise.
That's
There
right.
was a visual.
The camera won't be on. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah,
That's-
but you like I said, you go to a meeting, before you leave the parking lot, send them a card from your phone. Let them show appreciation for meeting with you.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Even if you don't get the job, even if you don't get the client, still send appreciation, because that still will set you apart from anybody else.
It really will, because it's saying it's okay. I get it. I'm glad we met, but we can still have a relationship because we never know what's going to happen down the road.
That's right.
Correct.
Always stay in touch with people. And this is a great way. This is a great way to, we talk about waking the dead. This is a great way to wake the dead.
Yes.
You can send out a card saying, hey, I know it's been a while, but I was thinking about you and I just wanted to say hi.
Yes.
That's a great way to wake the dead. And,
It
as
is.
we say, once they're awake, you got to keep resuscitating them.
Yep.
But, who doesn't love to get a card?
Right.
Nobody.
Not just in business, but personal life, because there have been families that have been mended because of people sending cards to people they haven't spoken with in years.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sandee, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been great.
Coaching.com/SOC. Sandee has been absolutely amazing. She knows all kinds of tips and tricks to get you up and running and really make this part of your filling up your funnel, sure, but make it part of your follow-up. And I really emphasize that, because here's the thing. The funnel we get pretty good at pretty fast. Going out, sending that, making that first phone call, making that first contact. And we all drop the ball in one way or another when it comes to follow-up.
Correct.
So let's get that follow-up strong. Let's get that follow-up going. Here's an excellent way to do that.
Yes. Set up a campaign. Short of nothing else, at least set up a 3 to 4 times. Set up a card to go out every 3 months.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Sandee, so much for being on
All
the
right.
show.
Thank you.
We'll see
See you later,
everyone
guys.
next time. And don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell button so you get the reminders. Facebook, like us on Facebook, Funnels and Follow Up. And for the podcast, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all the platforms under Funnels and Follow Up. Find us, rate us, review us. We love it. Goodbye, everybody. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.